Welcome to another episode of Carrollton City Limits Flashback Flicks. Today, let's talk about aliens, our extraterrestrial friends. For as long as mankind has been able to look up into our glorious skies, the question of, are we alone, has always been in the forefront. What exactly do the trillions of stars and galaxies know that we don't? Stories of visitors from galaxies far, far away have been told since the beginning of time. This subject is indeed one that our species has always been and always will be curious with. If these tales are true, then North Texas has been one of the most enjoyable spots of our extraterrestrial visitors. This is a compilation of actual news stories from North Texas, from all the way back from the late 1800s to present day.
Blue or possibly blue-green in color, trailing a small wisp of blue or blue-white smoke at first. Then, as it was just off the right wingtip, a part of the object broke away. It appeared to me to be about 1/3 of its mass. Broke away and turned a reddish color.
Meredith, where do you believe these flying saucers come from?
Well, due to the fact that they've been being seen now for thousands of years, we don't think they're from any country on this earth, and the only other logical conclusion is that they're coming from some other planet in the universe.
Jack, do you believe the purpose of these saucers' visit to Earth is military or scientific?
Well, actually, Wayne, I think it's a little of both. When we first exploded our atom bomb, they seemed to be very much interested. We saw a lot of UFOs since then, and I think that just a little of both.
In the not-too-distant past, residents of the Lake Worth area reported seeing a half-man, half-animal creature, belligerent by nature, who apparently took offense to intruders in the vicinity of Greer Island. One eyewitness described the creature as a monster with long hair on its face, fire in its eyes, and hole in its soul. Well, if you believe that, you may be gullible enough to believe that man will walk on the moon in this century.
It appeared to tip, and it looked like you could see a wingtip or something. I thought, well, it's a plane. It was silver and reflecting the light, so it was difficult to see the exact shape, but it looked rather like fuselage. And then I had to turn back to the road again, and when I looked again, it wasn't there.
This is the spot where Roberta Paradine says she saw her unidentified flying object just 24 hours ago. Nothing in the area now, except a water tower over there. But if Gary Brown's Middle East theory can be believed, the next man from outer space might well have a patch over one eye.
I know it was as large as a large house. That's about, and it was quite low, And I thought, well, everybody's seen it because we saw it. And it had one large beaking light on the top and then just white lights going around and around.
The UFO described by Mrs. Durant was sighted by her and her husband last July in Fort Worth. Hundreds of UFO sightings are reported to authorities every year. Many of them turn out to be identified as weather balloons, clouds, birds, or even camera lens flares.
I saw 2 red glows.
When dozens of people in Stephenville reported seeing strange lights in the night sky January 8th, the Air Force flatly denied any of its planes were anywhere around. Now, an about-face.
I knew it.
A spokesman for Fort Worth's Joint Reserve Base now says 10 F-16s were training in that exact area on that same night. The number mirrors what some witnesses had described.
Anyway, me and my boy, we counted, how many we counted, about 9, you think? Well, anyway, however many, it was 9 or 10. We saw these things doing this for a while.
The military spokesman blames an internal communications error for giving out false information.
I bet that was an airplane dropping flares, dispensing flares as he was flying along.
Last Wednesday, NBC5 aired an interview with a medical helicopter pilot who also saw the lights and believed they were flares from military jets. Our story included the military denials. Leading us back to the original question, if it wasn't a military plane, what was it? Stephenville today.
There's no explanation for it, so they have to say something.
And it wasn't just military planes, F-16s?
No, there was something.
Who knows? That's the most excitement Stephenville's had in a long time, so it probably won't end here.
Google Maps, you can look at any street anywhere in America on your computer. So did Google really capture a UFO on camera? Sam is not buying it all, but people in Jacksonville, Texas are on high alert for an alien touchdown, and ABC's Jamie Boyum from our ABC station KLTV 7 News did a little investigating.
You don't even have to put in a street, just Jacksonville, Texas, and go to the street view, then pan around, and there it is. A thing that I don't know what it is. It looks like something from a low-budget 1950s flick.
And this is the bridge, where Google Maps managed to capture an image no one can explain. Not even the people of Jacksonville.
Man, it's bright in Jacksonville. Anyway, the object, if it is an object, we're not saying it's an object, but it was shot right in front of the Landmark building at the 69 and 79 intersection, home of Sadler's Restaurant. And across the street, there's a Taco Bell. Maybe something was smelling lunch. Most people just said, wow, a lot.
Whoa, what is that?
Oh, wow.
No! What is it?
I don't know what it is. Look at it.
what is that? A car in the sky?
I looked up a dozen different cities and didn't find any similar anomalies. That must make Jacksonville special. You see anything?
Not yet.
No?
We're looking.
I'm going to stand here for the rest of the day, though.
Yep.
This is a site where a flying saucer supposedly crashed back in 1897, one April night of that year. It's here on the farm of Brawley Oats in Aurora, Texas, Wise County, just north of Fort Worth. Members of the International UFO Bureau out of Oklahoma City, a group of citizens that investigate unidentified flying objects, are here in Aurora today. They're trying to locate bits of metal that supposedly fell from the flying saucer when it crashed into a windmill that used to be here in a well. The well has since been covered up. The director of the UFO Bureau out of Oklahoma City, Hayden Hughes, is at the Aurora Cemetery today, along with other members of his group. They're looking for an unmarked grave where the remains of one body aboard the spaceship was supposedly buried.
I would say that, in all honesty, the evidence has accumulated until now. There's no doubt in my mind that the story is authentic and that there is something here. We will be in touch with Bureau attorneys in an attempt to find out all the legal technicalities to obtain a court order to actually do some digging to see if there is an occupant in the grave.
Hughes says he expects some legal problems in trying to dig up a grave in Aurora Cemetery. Meanwhile, they plan to examine some mysterious metals found near the crash site. He says he doesn't know who the visitors from outer space are, but he feels they are on a peaceful mission.
December 2007, there were 2 reports of UFOs over Texas.
I am scared. The girls were screaming, some of them were crying.
Within a month, the number grew to over 200 sightings as the swarm began to move south.
Almost like a flock of birds. I hope it's not.
This never-before-seen video may contain proof of a UFO infestation plaguing this small town, and neighborhoods are riddled with paranormal activity.
I sighted a beam light.
One witness claims to have video of a beam of light that hit her backyard, but never touched the
The
ground.
lights were like going like in circular motion. I mean, there were huge lights.
This reported UFO sighting occurs only 3 miles away from Caron's residence. But to this witness's eyes, it supposedly emits a beam of light similar to the one described by Margie Galvez, 52 miles away.
There was like a beam light of coming down from there.
Did the beam hit the ground?
No.
No.
It was.
You don't see any light on the ground.
I grabbed my gun and looked up into the sky, and I saw the lights moving.
Could these sightings be misidentified military jets, civilian airplanes, or something else?
Probably the end of our civilization as we know it.
Thank you for watching another episode of Carrollton City Limits Flashback Flicks. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel that you're watching this on. And thanks, y'all.